Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Today's practice is yoga for a healthy body. We will use pranayama, the breath, to go inward and connect to what feels good as we continually flow from one asana to another, being challenged to focus on our movements. This is a great way to tune out anything not serving you mentally and tune into your own practice to serve your health and well-being. So let's get started. Beginning today in easy seat sukhasana, feel free to sit on a block or a blanket. We're going to sit nice and tall, feeling our sits bones grounding into the earth, drawing the chin into alignment, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. We're going to place our hands on the thighs and shoulders back and down. Take a couple deep breaths here, maybe closing your eyes. Just tuning into how your body feels today as you breathe in and out through the nose. And also thinking about letting go of anything not serving you. This next practice here that we're going to just focus on is all about you and getting healthy, getting the body moving, keeping up our mobility and our flexibility, improving our balance and our strength, all combined, just to all around overall better health. When we do that by moving through our yoga postures. Good. Slowly let your eyes flutter open. Give me a big smile. Let's take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead. Tap the fingers and then exhale both fingertips forward, down in front of you on the floor. Shoulders come down away from the ears. You're going to stay long through the spine as you walk the hands forward. And you can reach them out as far as you want or just let them sit close by. I'm going to scoot back a little. There we go. And then from here, go to your fingertips like tents. Pull those shoulders away from the ears, and now let's lengthen through the neck and feel the crown of the head diagonally pushing forward so everything stays in alignment. And let's walk both hands in the upper body to the right. Just feel that nice stretch. Now when you get here to the right, let your chin slowly drop towards your chin, starting to feel the stretch in the left side of the body, keeping the left knee down, left hip down, and just breathe. Notice if there's any tension. And then slowly we're going to lift our head up back to neutral and then walk the hands through the center to the left. And then gently let the head, the chin drop a little bit. Now notice the right side, the right hip, the right side of the body. Feel it lengthening. Maybe starting to feel some of the tension in the shoulder relax as the shoulders drop away from the ears. And you continue breathing. And then slowly lift the head to neutral. Walk the hands back to center. And then we're going to walk them back towards the body. Good. Now take a deep breath in. Let's inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Twist to your right, placing your left hand on your right knee or shin or thigh. Drop your shoulder and then reach the right arm behind you, lift and twist. Take one more breath here. Lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, release and bring both arms up. Take an inhale at the top. And then exhale to the other side. And again, drop those shoulders, feel the tension releasing, lengthening through the spine, through the base of the spine specifically. And then slowly release. Come back to center, inhale the arms up, and then bring the fingertips behind your back like tents, and they're going on the floor. And then open up that chest, maybe looking up, lift that chin a little higher. Breathing in and out. And then slowly release back to neutral. Now let's just switch our feet. The opposite foot in front in your sukhasana, your easy seat. And then take those hands and walk them to the front. And then keep the spine long and lengthened as you lean forward, walking the hands. Let's go to our tent fingers again. This time we're going to walk the hands to the left And again, just notice the difference. So we're still stretching now the right side of the body. Draw the chin down. Take a breath. And then lift the head to neutral. Walk the hands through the center to the right, keeping both hips down as much as you can. Lower that head. Feel the stretch through the left side of the body. This time letting the shoulders again release some of that tension. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And then lift the head. Walk the hands back to center and all the way up, nice and tall through the spine. Let's take a deep breath in, reach the arms, touch the fingertips. Exhale, twist to your left as you lengthen through the base of the spine and then look behind you. Use your left hand as a kickstand behind you, right hand on the thigh. See if you can twist a little deeper. And then on your next breath, we're going to release and inhale up and then exhale to the other side. Just change it up. Lengthen through the base of the spine. See if you can go a little deeper in that twist. And then on your next inhale, rotate back to center. Inhale, both arms up. Take the fingertips behind the back like tense, placing them on the floor, opening up your chest, slightly bend your elbows, lean back. Open that heart space to what possibilities are ahead. Good, and then we're going to release those hands. A couple shoulder rolls here, up, back and down, hands back on the thighs. Now we're going to transition to our knees just for a moment for a mini camel. So bring the knees around, tuck the toes under. Good, and lift yourself all the way up. Place the hands on that low back, fingertips down towards the feet, and pull the elbows back. And then just open up. Again, little heart opener here. Being open to health and wellness in our bodies. Giving it what it needs. And excellent. Now we're going to release. We're going to untuck the toes. And we're going to take a child's pose. Separate your knees, feet together. Slide it back. Walk those hands forward and draw your forehead to the floor. And just reach the arms. Feel the stretch in the armpits, in the back. Use your palms to press your hips backwards towards the heels. And then slowly we're going to lift just the head off the floor. And I want you to keep your left hand there. Take your right hand, lift it up to the sky. Do a little twist. And then take that right hand, slide it under. We're going to thread the needle, thread that arm underneath, lower to the shoulder. Maybe walk your left arm further towards the front of the mat. Wiggle your right fingers, stretching through that shoulder. One more breath. And then we're going to bring the hand back close to the head to press it up, the left hand. Unthread the right arm, reach it up a little higher, open up the body, and then bring that right hand to the floor. Let's open up the left side. Say, give me a wave, and then thread that left hand underneath. Slide it under. Walk that right hand forward, lengthening. Feeling the stretch in the shoulder blade and the armpit. Wiggle those left fingers. Notice what's going on in the body. Just send some love and kindness to any areas that have tension. And then bring the hand close, the right hand close to the head, come up, open up, lift that left arm all the way up, and then bring it back to the floor. Good, we're going to separate those fingers, spread them out, pull the shoulders away from the ears, tuck your toes, and then shift yourself into a downward facing dog. And when you come to your down dog, let's pedal out the feet, walk your dog, shift your hips. You might get a little snap, crackle, pop. That's just things releasing. Again, softening all the tissue as we lengthen through the calf and the hamstring. Good. Now let's plant that left foot down gently. And then let's extend the right leg up to a three-legged dog. And let's rotate that right ankle. And then change direction. And then bend the knee. Try to stack the hips, but keep the shoulders level. And then take that right foot all the way between your hands. And then we're going to lower the left knee to the floor. Now, you can put a blanket or something under your knee if you need it. You can also use blocks here if it's hard to reach the floor. And you can come all the way up to a lunge. You can keep the foot tucked under, or you can flatten out the back of that left foot. Just feel that right hip flexor stretching out. Now we're going to shift backwards towards the back of our mat. And this way you're going to pull your front right toe up, stretching the hamstring. And again, this is where you can use blocks. Like if this is really hard and you can't get your knee bent because your hamstrings are really tight, then you would use blocks and just come up higher here and use those blocks. Now, option if some of you are a little more flexible, you can also tuck the back toe and you can sit down into that heel. And you can even bring your head towards your leg if that's in your practice. Again, these are just variations, or you can stay up higher. Now we're going to shift forward back into that lunge. Good. And place the hands on the floor, tuck that back toe. And just breathe here. Good. Now I want you to very slowly, we're going to windmill it all the way up to a star, nice and wide. And pull those shoulders down and back. Ta-da! Good. Now we're going to bend the knees to a squat. We're going to sweep the floor, sunflowers, and open and reach to the sky, and then squat down, sweep the arms on the floor, and come back up. And then exhale back down. Inhale up. We have one more. Exhale down. Just feel the mobility and the range of motion you're getting in your shoulders. Good. Exhale, palms to heart space. Now we're going to pivot that left foot to the back of the mat. Good. And I want you to windmill both arms down to the floor. Take a step forward and find your forward fold towards the back of the mat. Good. Take an inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, rise. All the way up. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees. Place the hands on the floor. Good. Take your left foot back and then your right and find your plank. And pull the shoulders away from the ears and then slowly lower to a chaturanga. Good. Do a little baby mini cobra. Partially lifting. Exhale, fold. Tuck your toes. Press back up to a downward facing dog. And walk those feet in. Pedal them out. Spread out those fingers. Good. Now we're going to take the left leg up. And we're going to rotate the ankle. And then change direction. And then we're going to bend the knee. Stack the hips, but keep the shoulders level. Just feeling that nice stretch. Now you're going to slowly bring that left foot between the hands. And you're going to lower the right knee to the floor. And again, you can keep that back toe tucked under. You can untuck it, walking the hands up the thigh. And finding that hip flexor stretch on that right leg now. And just breathe. Maybe you can sink a little deeper into it, opening things up. Now you're going to shift backwards. And you're going to pull your left toe up, straighten out the left knee. And again, you can tuck your back toe if it's in your practice. You can use your blocks. You can draw your head towards your knee. You got lots of options here. Make it work for what your body likes. Maybe you're using those blocks again. Now we're going to slowly shift back to our lunge. Good. And then bring both hands to the floor. Step back to your plank. And then chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. And then we're going to walk both feet forward to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to heart space. Now step wide. Find your star. Good. And then this time we're going to pull it down and find your goddess. And then find your star. And then we're going to find your goddess. And find your star. One more time. Sink into it and melt and just pull the elbows back. Level out your chin. Start to feel the warmth building in your body, the heat. Extend up to star, windmill it to the front of the mat. Good. Back, left leg forward, forward fold to the front of your mat now. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Soften or bend the knees. Take your right foot back and then your left. Find your plank. Good. Slowly lower, chaturanga. Little baby cobra. And then exhale down. Good. Take an inhale and then press up to downward facing dog. Make those adjustments. Spread out those fingers. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Press into the knuckles and the fingertips. Good. Bring the right leg up. And then bend the knee. Pull that right foot between the hands. And then we're going to come up to warrior one. Finding your balance, pressing into that left outer edge of your foot. Draw those shoulders into your back. Thumbs towards the back wall. Find your breath. Notice what's going on in the body and the legs. Now we're going to open wider, take a bigger step back, open the feet to like an L shape, and we're going into warrior two, and shoulders relaxed. Relax those shoulders and reach and look over the right fingertips. Now check in with your right knee. Make sure you can see your big toe, and your knee is pulling open to the right. And just breathe. Feels so good. Now we're going to inhale and straighten both arms and legs all the way up. Pivot the feet to wide. Toes forward, heels behind the toes, and then exhale, forward fold. Good. Straighten the arms, flatten out the back. Exhale, fold. Good. Soften or bend that left knee, pivot it to the back of the mat to a low lunge. Bring your right foot forward to a forward fold to the back of your mat. Take an inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold, and then an inhale, rise. Slight back bend, touch the fingertips, exhale, forward fold. Good, bend those knees. Take that left foot back, and then the right. Nice and strong, engaging that core, find that plank. Slowly lower into your chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And just breathe here, soften the knees, pull the shoulders, find your proper positioning that feels good to you. Press into those fingertips and those knuckles, and then draw your left leg up to our three-legged dog. Good, bend the knee. Now slowly pull that foot between your hands. And we're going to slowly come up to warrior one. Right foot back on the mat. See how you can do it slow and controlled. Draw the elbows and the shoulders just slightly down, thumbs to the back. Really opening things up. Find your breath. Now we're going to take a bigger step back. Open things up to warrior two, extending the arms out to the sides. So you have an L shape. And if you need to go wider, you can. You want to check in with that left knee to make sure you can see your big toe and the knee is not collapsing in towards the right, but opening to the left. And breathe. Just enjoy that. Good. Now from here, we're going to straighten both arms and legs. Turn those toes again to face the front. Heels behind the toes. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to reach behind, maybe underneath the shins. Bend the knees, slightly bend the knees, and then just hold on to the back of the ankles or the floor and just shift your body gently side to side with the knees bent. Bend and straighten the knees. Good, and then find your center, hands on the floor. Straighten the legs. Straighten the arms, flatten the back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Place the hands on the thighs and then come all the way up. Take a breath. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold towards the front of your mat. Finding that lunge. And then bring your back foot forward. So both feet are to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, rise. Slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Bend the knees, hands on the floor. Right foot back to lunge. Then left foot back to plank. Find your plank. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. We're adding a little challenge here. Now I'm going to add things in, and you again adjust. Option to lift the right foot off the floor when you do your chaturanga. And you can also, or just have the knees on the floor if you want to make it a little easier. And then coming to an upward facing dog, and then a downward facing dog. So starting to really get into that core a little more. And just breathe in your downward facing dog, shoulders away from the ears, pressing the heels to the floor, looking at your knees or your toes or your belly. And then bring that right leg up, three-legged dog. And then bend the knee, bring it between the hands. Let's find our warrior one again. Drawing it up, drawing the shoulders down in the back, and just breathe. Good. Now we're going to step a little wider. Find your warrior two. Draw those shoulders down. Relax. Center the shoulders over those hips. See if you can go a little deeper into your warrior two. Good. And now from here, we're going to straighten out the front leg. Bring your palms to heart space. Keeping that back leg, maybe you turn it in a little, and you can make adjustments if the back leg is too far. We're going to twist towards the front right leg, and we're going to start to hinge at the hip, leaning forward with a flat back towards that front leg. So variation of pyramid. Good. And then we're going to option, you can use blocks, you can reach both hands to the floor. It's up to you. Good. And then we're going to bend that front knee. And then you're going to windmill it all the way back up. Turn that right toe just in slightly. Open the knees and find a wide squat, palms at heart space. Inhale, reach all the way up. Touch the sky, fingertips together. Exhale back to a wide squat. Good. Lift the right heel. Down. Lift the left heel. Down. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, back of the mat. All the way down to the lunge. Right foot forward, forward fold. Good. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees and then step back with your left foot and then your right. Spread out those fingers. Find your strength. Again, you can be on your knees for chaturanga, full plank, or if you want more advanced, left leg up. Elbows in, chaturanga, slowly engaging the core, and then an upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Feel free to take a child's pose if you need it at any time. Shoulders relaxed. Press that right heel into the floor, left leg comes up, three-legged dog. And then bend the knee. Bring that left foot slowly between the hands. Find your balance. Good. And then find your warrior one, coming all the way up. So it's getting up and down off the floor is a great tool, practice to continue keeping that mobility up, your flexibility, and your strength. We want to be able to get up and down off the floor. And then open wider. Find your warrior two. Extend those arms. See if you can bend further into that left knee, making sure it's not collapsing in, but opening it up. Shoulders relaxed. Good. Now we're going to straighten out both legs. Inhale the arms up. And then exhale the palms to heart space. Level out your hips. So we tend to do in our triangle, but we're not going there yet. Triangle is coming though. Straighten out the hips and then rotate the hips towards the front of your mat. If you need to adjust your back foot, if that's too much, because we're going into our modified variation of a pyramid. Straight back, flat back, leaning forward towards our back foot, left foot. Option is to bring your hands to the floor or your blocks, or your head to your knees. Good. And then we're going to bend that left knee and then windmill it all the way up, palms to heart space, feet wide, find a low squat. Feet nice and wide legs. Good. This time lift the right toe, then left, shifting a little side to side. Have some fun with it. Good. And then inhale the arms up and then exhale to the front of the mat. Lunging and then find your forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend or soften the knees, step back with the right leg and then the left. Find your plank. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Again, option, knees, straight leg, or lift the right leg in chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now that right leg's coming up to three-legged dog again. We're going to bend the knee. I want you to bring it between the hands. Find your warrior one. coming all the way up. Relax those shoulders. So we're adding on here. We're going to add on a few things. So let's widen our stance, go to warrior two, shoulders back and down, and relax the shoulders. Let's look out over our right fingertips and feel the pinky fingers pulling to the back, towards the back wall. And breathe. You can do this. Now we're going to bring the palms to heart space, and we're going to straighten the front leg. You're going to take that back foot. I want you to really pivot it more towards the front of the mat and pivot your left hip towards the front of the mat. So they're like headlights of the car. Both legs are straight, so you are now in more of the pyramid. Bring the feet maybe closer together. Make those adjustments. Good. Hands are on the hips. Find that balance. Oh, I'm a little wobbly. And start to lean forward. Lengthen through the spine. Flat back. Feel that left hip pushing forward. And breathe. Option to go lower. Hands can be on the hips, on the shin or the ankle, blocks or floor, head to knee. And just breathe. Relax your shoulders. Feel them soften. Feel your upper back relax and soften. Good. Now from here, you're going to soften or bend that front knee. Good. You can bring your fingertips forward because I want you to lift your back left leg off the floor and lift yourself up to airplane or warrior three, extending the arms out. Activate that back left foot. Level out those hips. Find that balance. Now that back left foot is going to lower to the floor way behind you, and you're going to lift to a crescent lunge. Nice and tall. Now we're going to continue practicing our balance because we're going back to that warrior three or airplane. So start to lean forward, lift that back leg up, straighten the front leg. Again, option, your hands can be in front, it can be out to the side, it can be back, whatever feels good to you. And then you're going to slowly lower that back leg back to your crescent lunge, lengthen through the arms, all the way up. Good, bring the palms to heart space, pivot, open, wide feet. Nice and wide. Now this time you're going to heel toe it in just a little more narrow. Inhale the arms up. Let's exhale to yogi squat. All the way down. And just find that nice position. It's comfy. Hopefully your legs are a little more open. And then press the palms together. Lift the hips. Drop the head. Straighten the legs. Hands on the low back. Inhale, lift the body all the way up. Inhale the arms at the sky. Exhale, pivot your left foot to the back of the mat. Bring your hands to the floor. Find your forward fold. And breathe. Let your head relax. Bend or soften the knees. Step back with the left leg, then the right. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. Engage that core. This is that strength part. Again, you can do it on the knees, full plank, or you can have your left foot up. Chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we get to do the same thing on the back of the mat. I can tell you're excited. So place that right heel into the floor. Left leg comes up, three-legged dog. Good. Bend the knee. Slowly bring that left foot between the hands. And then pivot onto that back right foot. Come up to warrior one. And draw those shoulders down. And breathe. Let's find our warrior two. Open it back up. Shoulders open. Relaxed. Extend those arms. Check in with that left knee, that the knee is open, that it's not collapsing in, and feel the fingertips pulling to the back. I bet you're getting a little further into your postures, right? Loosening up. Now we're going to inhale, straighten the arms, straighten the legs, palms to heart space. You're going to pivot that back heel towards the front of your mat, but you're pivoting the foot and the hips to the back of your mat. So now you're facing everything to the back of your mat. Both legs are straight. Find your pyramid. Hinge at the hips, leaning it forward. And your hands can stay on the hips, the thighs, on the shins. You can use blocks again or the floor. And pivot that back foot as much as you can. Feel front as much as you can and you feel comfortable with. Try to rotate that right hip forward. Both heels are on the floor. And you're breathing. Okay, from here, this is where we're going to bend that front knee, fingertips on the floor. So we're going to start to lift, pressing up. into our airplane or warrior 3. I have a wall in the way. Find your balance, straighten out both legs. Good, from here we're gonna lower that back foot into the floor, that back right foot. And then we're going to pause here for a moment in our crescent. And then slowly come back to airplane or warrior 3. Arms can be out to the side, or back. Notice which side has got more balance, which side's more wobbly. And then back to crescent lunge again. Lengthen up and breathe. Good. Now, from here, we're going to straighten out both legs. Take it wide, bring those feet in. Lower down to your yogi squat. And relax those shoulders. And breathe. Feels good just to rest, doesn't it here? Now we're going to slowly press straight up through the legs, lengthen into the sky. Inhale up. Exhale to the front of the mat. Find your lunge, and then bring that right leg back. Find your plank, and pull the shoulders away from the ears. So from here, we're going to shift straight to our downward facing dog. Feel free to take a child's pose if you need a break. We're going to place that left foot on the floor, and then we're going to take our right leg up. Bend the knee and open and stack those hips, shoulders level. We're going to be taking that right knee and bringing it to the right wrist for a pigeon, and the right foot to the left wrist, and then sliding into our pigeon. And just do a shift side to side. The top of the left knee and the left foot is on the floor, and then walk both hands forward all the way down. And you can have your arms out in front of you. You can have the hands stacked. And just breathe here. This is where we thank our body for everything it does for us. We're keeping our metabolism up by moving more, stretching the muscles and the tissue, invigorating our nervous system, and making the brain work. And then we're slowly going to walk those hands in closer to the body and lift up through the upper body. Go to your fingertips again like tents and really stretch out that left leg, that left hip flexor, pressing maybe into the top of your left foot, and see if you can maybe lift the knee slightly off the floor. Very little pressure on it. Good. Now from here, sit on your right hip and bring your left leg forward all the way around and cross the leg, the left foot over the right thigh. Sit on both butt cheeks and let's hug that left knee. Now if your leg doesn't come that far, that's okay. You can always just keep it right here in front where the foot is in front of the shin instead of across the thigh. Take your left hand behind you as a kickstand, lengthen through the base of the spine and hug the knee. Option is to bring your right elbow on the outside of that left knee and palm is open, and lengthen and twist. Feel the belly pressing into the thigh as we take our breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. Enjoy that stretch there, the glute and the hip. Then we're going to release the hand, the arm from the knee. Now take your left leg. I want you to bring it up about 90 degrees, about at the knee, maybe a little further. Start to hinge back just slightly. Take your right leg and bring it up and find your boat. Level things out, and then just hold it here. Relax those shoulders, engage the core. Option to straighten the legs and maybe lower halfway. And then lift and pull the knees in towards the right shoulder and twist the upper body to the left. And then extend out. Good, and try the other side. Pull it in. You can always have your heels on the floor if you need to. There's options. And extend out and hold. Good, palms come up. Inhale, try to float the feet off the floor. Hug the knees into the chest. Relax those shoulders, good. Now we're going to crisscross the feet, and we're going to shift ourselves back forward onto our hands and step back and just shift straight into a downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna lift that right leg up again, and we're gonna bring that right foot between the hands. We're gonna keep the feet facing the front of the mat, but I want you to come up, slowly walk up the thigh, straighten out both legs. Good, and then take your back left foot and open it up so it is perpendicular to the front of your mat. All right, and then both legs are straight. So we're gonna go into triangle. I want you to shift your hips to the back of your mat and start to lean your right shoulder towards the front of the mat and the right knee. And then start to take your right hand and reach it towards the front of your mat. And then bring it inside the thigh, the back of the hand. Now take your left arm, and I want you to reach it over your head to the front of the mat, and then see if you can lower a little lower. And again, go where you feel comfortable, and we're breathing. If you find that you're collapsing through the upper back, then lift up higher. I'm a little tight today. Now we're slowly gonna windmill it back to a reverse triangle. Hips slightly shift to the front of the mat, left arm to the back thigh, right arm overhead to the back of your mat. Maybe you reach your left arm behind your back. And then slowly come back, bend into that front knee, find a warrior two, and reverse the warrior two. And then take the forearm to the front thigh, find a side angle. Reaching your left arm way over the ear, open up that chest. Maybe you open the arm up a little more and lower a little more. It's up to you. And then we're gonna windmill it all the way up, pivot both feet to the front, sides to wide feet, arms wide, press them out, exhale, forward fold. Good, so now we're a little wider with the feet. Maybe you go a little bit more. Maybe you reach back for the ankles, pull your top of your head towards the mat. Then you're gonna place your fingertips on the floor below your shoulders, lengthen and straighten the arms and flatten the back. Pivot yourself to the back of the mat, and then step forward to a forward fold. Good, soften the knees, step back with the left foot and then the right. And we're gonna shift straight to our downward facing dog. Lift those hips, relax those shoulders, left leg comes up. We're gonna find our pigeon. Left foot to the left knee to the left hand, left foot to the right hand, and then walk that right leg straight back. The knee and the top of the foot is on the floor. Shift your body side to side. Find that comfortable position. Pull those shoulders away from the ears and then walk your hands forward, out in front of you, or stacking the hands. And just melt here into the mat. Notice what's going on in the body. Think about the beginning of class where you were, letting go of all the outside world, just focusing on your health. Healthy body yoga. Another breath or two. Let that hip relax, soften the tension. Start to lift the upper body. We're gonna walk the fingertips in, make them like tense, pull the shoulders away from the ears as you lengthen through the upper body. Feel the stretch through that right back hip flexor. And just breathe here. Now we're gonna shift onto our left hip and bring that right leg all the way up and around and cross it over, give it a nice twist. Both glutes on the floor. Again, your foot can be on the floor in front of the shin, or it can be crossed over and giving it a hug. Lengthen through the spine. And add a little twist with the right arm behind you as a kickstand, or you can bring your left elbow in front of that knee, left knee, right knee, excuse me, and then open up those fingers, just lengthen. And just breathe here, feel the belly expanding and shrinking back down as it presses into the thigh with each breath. Continue breathing. One more breath. And then we're going to slowly release that arm off the knee. Bring that right knee up. We're switching and going to our boat. So both legs come up. Shift those hips. Find your boat. Feel free to use your hands or not. Heels on the floor or not. We're going to extend it out, engaging that core. When you come in, pull the knees towards your left shoulder, but rotate your upper body to the right. Get those obliques, and then extend it back out. Pull it in, twist slightly to opposite way. And we're breathing, and then extend back out, and then find your neutral boat. And breathe, and then we're going to cross the legs. You can cross them backwards, and then shift your body back to a downward facing dog. All the way up, hips up. We're going to take that left leg up. We're going to bend the knee, and we're going to slowly bring that left foot between the hands. And you're going to pivot up, keeping both legs straight as you come up, all the way. Good. Now from here, you're going to open up the body just a bit. Flip that back foot, like almost like you're going to warrior two, but not quite, because you want to still a bit of an angle. And then we're going to find our triangle. So hips are shifting to the front of your mat, technically, and then your left shoulder's dropping towards your left knee. Open the chest, left palm open, and the back of the hand against the thigh or the shin. Now that right arm, a lot of times we take it up, but let's add a little extra stretch. Reach that right arm over your ear. Just really stretch it out. You probably won't be able to go as low in your triangle when you're stretching this way. It's a variation of our triangle. And then slowly come up. We're going to reverse our triangle. Shift the hips the opposite way. Reach the right hand to back thigh, left hand up, palm is facing the back of your head somewhat, or towards your back feet. Good option to bring your right hand behind your back. Good. Now let's bend into that front knee. Come to warrior two. So stagger those feet maybe a little wider. Stepping into it, relax those shoulders. Now you can really get deep into it. Left palm up, right hand to the back thigh, reverse warrior with that left knee bent. And then find you can have the hand behind the back, side angle. Left arm, forearm to the left thigh, right arm over the ear. Reach that right arm to the back of your mat. Option to lower down. Again, depends on where you're at. Feel that stretch to the right side of the body. Good. And breathe. And then slowly come up. Pivot both feet to the front of your mat, to the middle, wide feet, excuse me. And then walk, heel toe the feet in. Bring the palms together. We're taking a yogi squat again. Another yogi squat. And breathe. Relax those shoulders. So the head is up, the hips are down, long spine, feet are flat. Good. Go ahead and bring your fingertips to the floor. Lift the hips, drop your head, straighten the legs. Good. Turn your toes so they are in front of your heels, so your heels are behind your toes. Nice and wide feet. Take your right hand to your left ankle. Left hand on the hip, lengthen and straighten the spine. Try to lift your back. So you're doing a half lift, and then start to twist towards the back of your mat, and then bend your right knee. Just get a little extra twist. Take your left arm now and slide it all the way behind your back, and see if you can grab your right thigh. And breathe. Lengthen through the neck. And then slowly release the hand behind the back. We're going to just transition to the other side. Straighten both legs. Left hand to the right ankle. Lengthen through the spine. Right hand on the hip. Straighten out both the left arm and the back. And then start to twist towards the front of your mat. Now bend your left knee. And then take your right hand and slide it behind your back. See if you can get your thigh. Lengthen through the neck. And just breathe here. Slowly release, come back to center, drop the hands, good. Now we're gonna pivot both hands to the front of the mat. Good, and both feet together to a forward fold. About hip distance apart, and just hang out here for a moment. Soften the knees, inhale, half lift, straighten the arms and the legs. Exhale, fold. Good, soften the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up, slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Drive it down. Good, soften and bend both knees. Let's find our plank. Step back with both feet. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Good, and just relax here for a moment. Separate your knees now. Untuck your toes, find your child's pose. Slide it back. Reach those fingertips forward and see how this feels compared to the beginning of class. Are you a little closer to the floor? Does it feel a little easier? Now you're going to walk your fingertips together and you're going to place your palms together, and then you're going to draw your thumbs towards your spine. Prayer fingers, prayer hands. Elbows are on the mat, stretching those triceps. And breathe. And then we're going to bring those fingertips back to the floor. And we're going to come all the way up out of our child's pose. Slide one knee to the side or crisscross, and you're going to bring those feet in front to staff pose, straight leg. Pull the glutes out from underneath those sits bones. Flex those feet. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Reach for those toes. Good. Maybe your big toes. Maybe you can hold the outsides of your feet. I want you to lengthen through the spine. Let your head move gently. Good. Let your elbows soften or push towards the floor. Then you can start to let your head drop. But really focus on keeping the shoulders pulled down into your back pockets. Lengthening through the spine and then letting the head come down. One more breath. And then slowly come all the way up. Engage the belly as you lift the arms overhead. And then exhale the fingertips behind the back again. Like tense, open up that chest. Draw the heels and toes together. Option to open the fingers really wide and then press those fingers into the floor and then the palms. And then open the chest again. Option again. You can stay here or you can do a reverse plank. Lifting things up, opening up the front of the body, lengthening through the neck. Take a breath. And then flex the feet, lower those hips to the floor. Good, now we're gonna shift our hips forward and we're gonna find our boat pose again. So a little more core, feel that belly working. And then extend it, lengthen. And then pull the knees into the right and twist to your left again, because I know how much you love this boat pose. And then slowly lengthen and extend and twist the opposite way. And extend and lengthen. Find your neutral boat pose. Option to lift the legs a little higher, engage those quads, and then slowly melt towards the floor. The whole body goes long, make those adjustments. Good, from here we're gonna bend the knees, walk the feet in close to the bottom, push your heels down, push your hips down. And then we're going to take a bridge. So I want you to lift your hips off the floor. Make sure your hands are reaching towards your heels. Option to walk your fingertips and interlace them. And you can even walk your shoulders underneath your back and lift a little higher. Press your fingers towards your heels. Take a breath or two here. Focus on your breath. And then we're slowly going to walk the shoulders out. Release the fingertips. And we're going to lower those hips all the way down. Good. And bring those arms out now, up like cactus arms. Let your shoulder blades melt into the mat. And then take your right leg and open up. Cross that right ankle over your left thigh and open the right knee. And then let's take a single leg bridge, lifting the hips off the floor, flexing that foot. That knee is open. And then slowly lower the hips back down. Good, and we're going to keep that ankle crossed, but I want you to shift both hips slightly to your left and then let your knees drop to the right. so your foot is still on top of your thigh. So you're just getting a nice stretch through the hip and the thigh. You can adjust that left foot if you want, so it can get a little lower, sliding it out. And just breathe. Close your eyes here for a moment. Enjoy the twist. Feel your shoulder blades melting into the earth. Your head can look to the left if you want that as well. Now we're going to bring our head back to neutral if it's turned, and then pull the belly in as you start to lift the knees back to neutral, and then shift your hips back to center, and then press that right knee open, and then you're going to pull the left foot off the floor, and you can hold the left thigh. The ankle is still crossed over the left thigh, or you can hold the shin for reclining pigeon. Just hug it in. Maybe press that right knee open more, flex that left foot. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, slightly draw both legs to your left, and then back to center. And then we're going to release that left leg, place it back on the floor, uncross that right thigh. And then take your left ankle, place it on the right thigh. Open up that left knee. Good. Bring the arms back to cactus arms. And then we're going to press up to a single leg bridge. Just breathe here. Notice the difference. What's going on with your hips? Does one hip drop more than the other? And then we're slowly going to lower the hips all the way back down. Good. And now you're going to take keep them crossed, your hips slightly to the right as you drop both legs to your left. And then you can turn your head to the right. Just feel that nice twist. And just breathe here. Make adjustments. You don't want to feel this in the low back. And just walk those shoulder blades and those shoulders away from the ears. Feel your body being supported on the floor. Notice if this side has different areas of tension, and just again send loving kindness to those tension areas. Let them soften. You're going to bring your head back to neutral. Engage the core before you start to bring the knees back up. Walk the foot back in alignment. Align the heels and the hips. Good. That left leg is still crossed over the right. And then you're going to pull the right foot off the floor. And the knee comes in towards the chest. Hold the thigh or the shin. Reclining pigeon. Keep that left foot flexed. Maybe push the left knee open. Draw both knees slightly to your right. And just relax the shoulders. Breathe. This is also very good for sciatic. If you have sciatic issues going on, this is a great stretch for that. You can always use a strap or just hold the leg if you can't get your other leg in. And then slowly release that right foot back to the floor and then uncross your left leg back onto the floor. Good. Let's do a full body stretch. Straighten both legs, reach the arms overhead. Good. And then as you exhale, pull the belly in and lift the right leg all the way up to the sky. And you can hold behind the thigh, or you can walk the hands up the shin or the calf, and then rotate that right ankle. Let's relax those shoulders and then rotate the opposite way. And then take a breath in. And then as you exhale, pull the belly in, let the legs slowly lower to the floor, reach the arms overhead, full body stretch. Good, take a breath at the bottom. And then as you exhale, lift the left leg all the way up. Hold the thigh, back of the thigh, or you can walk your hands up higher, keeping that right leg on the floor. Feel that nice stretch, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Rotate that ankle or move it a little. Good. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, arms overhead, leg lowers slowly, slowly, slowly. Good. Full body stretch. And then bring the arms down next to the body. Bend the knees. Bring the feet close to the hips. Reach down towards your ankles. Take one more bridge. Lift those hips. And then slowly lower your hips all the way to the floor. And let's hug the knees into the chest. Give it a rock side to side. And then we're going to take a happy baby. You can hold the toes. You could wrap the arms around. Try to press your tailbone to the sky. Excuse me, to the floor, not to the sky. And then, but your heels are to the sky, but your knees are pulling to your armpits or to the floor. And then just rock side to side. It feels so good on that low back. And then we'll find our center. Release the feet, hug the knees, and then go ahead and we're going to transition to our Shavasana. So let your feet go to the floor, straighten the legs, palms come up next to the body, walk the shoulders out and down. Let your legs fall open and close your eyes. I want you to feel the body starting to just melt a little deeper into the floor. Even if it means your legs fall open more, your arms go a little wider. Tune into your breath. Feel the breath coming in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just let things go. Any anxieties or doubts or worries, just breathe them out. Know that you did something so good for your body today. Yoga for a healthy body, just so much love and attention and kindness to our own bodies is the key. That is the most important thing. You are your own advocate for your health. And you are a rock star, a gold star today for taking care of you. Let's take a nice deep cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Audible sigh, exhale through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. Audible exhale through the mouth. Good. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And just know you are ready to go about moving through whatever comes your way today, tomorrow, the rest of the week. Go ahead and bend your knees. You can roll to your side. You can hug them in and roll up. However you want to move to a tall seated Sukhasana, an easy seat. Lift yourself up. Sit on a block blanket, whatever works for you. Legs are crossed. Let's draw the shoulders over the hips and then draw the ears back over the shoulders. Palms are upward on your thighs and elbows into the ribs. Let's close the eyes for a moment. Go ahead and bring the first finger and thumb together. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's do that again, and this time let's inhale a calmness and a wellness. And exhale anything not serving us. Feel the shoulders relax. Feel the energy running through your body as well as the calmness. Take the arms, reach them up overhead. Take an inhale, open the eyes, peek at the fingertips. Exhale, palms together to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.